Hello, my name is Jackie Brosky, and I am a kindergarten teacher, and I'm going to share with you how I create a literate environment in my classroom. First, I wanted to share with you how my classroom is set up and how my classroom environment works. My classroom is set up in a way that allows for students to work together in small groups throughout the school day. It is also specifically set up for our literacy stations. I set my classroom up this way this year so students could easily rotate through 4 different stations throughout the school day during our literacy block. As a whole class, all students are involved in our literacy stations, in which they are working with letters, letter sounds, writing, and many other activities. I also have a guided reading table for small group instruction where I pull small reading groups and conduct a guided reading lesson with them. I think classrooms should be inviting and welcoming, but that does not mean that they have to be covered in all the colors of the rainbow. The walls in my classroom, I believe, are not too overwhelming with many colors. I chose to do a theme with light colors rather than bright colors in order to avoid overstimulating students. I do believe this can happen, so I strive to keep my walls covered with a bare minimum. However, I do make sure students are able to see and use what is put on our walls as a tool throughout the school day. I have a word wall in my classroom where students refer to sight words as well as the phonics stance pictures, and I also have a wall that displays important anchor charts for students to also refer to when needed. As stated before, my classroom is set up specifically for literacy stations and guided reading. During this time, students are broken up into small groups based on their instructional reading level. Each group visits 3 different stations where they are either manipulating letter sounds through fun activities, writing letters and words, and even building letters and words with hands-on activities. Like Play-Doh, as you can see in the picture, to enhance motor skills. Each station is between 10 to 15 minutes long, depending on the guided reading group I am working with at the time. As I meet with each group, I have a DRA leveled text chosen for each group. I have all students do a warm-up activity, which could be as simple as building sight words found in the text. Next, I remind students of the reading strategies, and then we read the text together. When completed, I discuss a teaching point from the book, which could be words such as the magic E found in the text, something for them to remember, and when completed, students continue to rotate through the rest of the stations. Even with all the great things being said about the literacy stations that happen in my classroom, I do believe my greatest area of growth is my guided reading instruction as a whole. My school does a wonderful job at implementing the reading strategies, as you can see on this slide, for students. However, I wish I was more time efficient and effective with my guided reading instruction. I want all students to be receiving the proper instruction on their reading level so they are moving forward in their literacy skills. I also want to have better management of my groups, as well as use tools and materials in a way that is engaging for all students to be successful. In order to reach these goals in literacy, I plan to collaborate with my colleagues on their techniques and strategies, as well as discuss my guided reading instruction with the literacy coach at my school. I also plan to read parts of the book called The Next Step Forward in Guided Reading by Jan Richardson, which my literacy coach has so graciously provided for me to better my overall reading instruction. Lastly, I also want my students to have books that are appealing to them in their desks for independent reading time. This is a goal I have for this year as well to enhance my literacy instruction. I want to better differentiate my guided reading instruction so I can meet the needs of all students' reading and writing abilities.